A hunt is underway for thieves after priceless jewels were stolen from one of the world's most famous museums, the Louvre in Paris. Well, France's interior ministers described the jewellery, taken during a 7-minute heist, as priceless. It's understood that a large extendable ladder, which was installed temporarily for building work, was used. The top of the ladder touches a balcony, which appears to be how the three thieves accessed one of the upper floors. Well, this was the scene inside the museum as tourists were ushered out of the building after the gang got inside after the museum had opened this morning. It has now been shut for the day. Well, our correspondent Andrew Harding told us whether this could prove to be something of an embarrassment for the museum.
Definitely a huge embarrassment. This was a very quick, brazen theft. You perhaps can see the ladder behind me, which 3 or 4 masked men used at about 9:30 this morning when the museum had just opened. They clambered up that ladder, they smashed their way through a window, got into the first floor to a gallery there. They could have wandered down the corridors and found the Mona Lisa. Instead, they stayed in the room which is basically dedicated to what's left of France's royal jewels, particularly jewels belonging to the Emperor Napoleon I and his wife. They stole, we understand, 9 of them, including things on tiaras, brooches and so on. It's reported that they dropped one big jewel as they made their escape. They went down the ladder, got onto some motorbikes, sped off. So far, no sign of them. Fortunately, although there were tourists, visitors inside the museum, nobody was injured. But as you can perhaps also see behind me, a lot of French police investigating, trying to understand who might have done this. It is a humiliation for the security forces. People say nothing like this has really happened at the Louvre since 1911, when the Mona Lisa itself was briefly stolen.
Andrew Harding there at the Louvre Museum. Well, I was also able to catch up with our Paris correspondent, Hugh Schofield.
What's surprising is that it took place in broad daylight after the museum had opened. I mean, normally you'd expect these things to take place in the dead of night when there's no one around, but it was a very daring robbery, and they approached it from the outside, where there was work going on. If you know the Louvre, you know that one side of it goes along the River Seine. It was on that side of it that they had this. Well, I'm not sure quite what it was. I mean, the interior minister used the word nacelle, which means a kind of cherry picker to go up, but maybe it was an extendable ladder, some mechanism for gaining access to an upper story. It's not clear to me whether that was left as part of this renovation work or whether they brought it with them. In any case, it extended up to this first floor window, which allowed them access to the Apollo Gallery. Now, the Apollo Gallery is a historic gallery at this part of the Louvre, which houses, apart from works of art and being magnificently decorated in itself, it houses display cabinets showing what's left of the French crown jewels. Now, not quite the same as the British crown jewels, because of course the French lost its King Louis XVI in the Revolution, but nonetheless there are still some jewels from the Ancien Regime and also from the 19th century when there were Napoleonic Empire and his nephew Napoleon III and so on. There were crown jewels from that period too, and that was where they were held. And it seems that the thieves have got away with some of these crown jewels. How much they're worth, what they've taken exactly, we just don't know.
Fascinating insight, and just to bear in mind that down the hallway, apparently the masterpiece, Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece, the Mona Lisa, is displayed. So this could have been an awful lot worse. Just, Hugh, put this into context for us. Just how common are these types of robberies from the Louvre? Well,
I mean, from the Louvre, they're not common at all. I mean, there have been thefts from the Louvre going back, it's been a museum for, 150 years. And then the most famous one was the Mona Lisa, which was taken in 1911. At the time, it wasn't nearly as famous as it is now, and it was taken by an Italian who'd worked in the Louvre and who thought it had been stolen from Italy, so go back to Italy, and it was in Italy that it was found a few years later. That's the big theft from the Louvre's history. There have been other things.
So Hugh Schofield there just outlining how rare it is for something like this to happen from the Louvre, given the security that you've got there. We are going to talk to Arthur Brand, who is an art historian, also an art crime investigator. And Arthur, you're known as the Indiana Jones of the art world, so the perfect person just to help us understand this, because this happened at 9:30 in the morning. The museum was open. This was in broad daylight.
Yes, well, a Sunday morning is, I think, the best morning to do this. You know, people are still a little bit sleepy from Saturday night. And, you know, they just entered to the sidewalk. There was this mechanized lift standing there, and they just walked up there and they broke a window and they were in. And they were out in 7 minutes. So it was the perfect heist.
And it seems like they were really controlled with what they were doing. Would you say that this was really planned? Because down the hallway hangs the Mona Lisa, the most famous picture in the world. They didn't go for that. They kept it very localized.
Yes, the Mona Lisa is behind armed glass, and apparently these crown jewels, dating to the time of Napoleon, they were in vitrines which were not thick enough. They will always go through these vitrines, but you know, you have to slow them down. The thicker they are, the thieves will know it will take 8, 9, 10 minutes, and then the police will be waiting outside for us. So they have studied it. They have been there 2 or 3 weeks before, just watching the cameras, watching the doors, watching the vitrines. And in this case, they thought they could get away with it in 7 minutes, just before the police arrived. And they managed to do that.
It's extraordinary. It's like something out of a film, isn't it? No doubt the film rights are being brandished about already as we speak. Look, our understanding is that a diamond and emerald crown was found broken near the Louvre after the robbery. We're monitoring that live picture of the window where they got in. We can see the forensic teams dusting down for fingerprints. How difficult is it going to be to find these people and retrieve these priceless items?
Well, it's always difficult, you know. It's a race against time. The longer you wait, the more time these people have to get rid of these pieces, to sell them, to melt them down. That's probably what they're going to do, melt the gold and silver down and cut the diamonds so that they are not retraceable. So the longer it takes, the more difficult it gets. So let's hope that these people will be caught very soon. And I have very high hopes because, you know, this is a national scandal. The Louvre, the most important museum in the world, the crown jewels. So I'm sure that even the Secret Service will be on the job in this case.
So as the Indiana Jones of the art world, Arthur, where do you even start?
What they are first going to do is watch the security cameras. These people have been there 2, 3 weeks before just to watch what could they do, would they have time enough. And the police will be watching these tapes, all these tourists walking there, and they will try to spot people who are acting strangely, you know, which are out of this normal person. So that's what they're going to do. Then they will watch the traffic cameras all over Paris. And I think there are 100 or 200 police officers right now on this case.
Arthur Brand, art crime investigator, the Indiana Jones of the art world. Really good to get your expertise. Thank you.